Meron akong nabasa one time na like sa comment, yung mga nagsasabi o yung mga nagsusuicide is yung mga taong mahihina ang loob and mga hindi ginagamit ang utak at puro emotions ang pinapairal. From the perspective of a guidance counselor and also like a psychology graduate, how should we address this? What do you think is the proper way kung paano dapat tayo humarap sa mga students or mga tao na nagde-deal or experiencing some mental health distress or issues.
So actually, katulad ng nabasa mo na yan, Jules, no, madami na rin ako nakikitang mga ganyan kahit ngayon sa social media, ang daming post na mga ganyan. Actually, nakakalungkot lang na hanggang ngayon, 2023 na, nasa modern world, technology world na tayo, ang dami pa ding uninformed or those people na refuse to be informed regarding mental health and nakakapagbanggit or nakakapagsabi pa din sila ng mga nakakalungkot or at some point nakakainis din na word na mga insensitive words na ganyan, no? So, in terms sa ganyan, ang mga mental health professionals and tayo naman, ang mga mental health awareness raiser na tao is hindi pa din tayo napapagod na magkalat ng right information about mental health and to raise awareness din. Madami pa ding tao na willing to extend their help and also yung mga people na mismong nakaranas ng mental health problems and issues, hindi sila nahihiyang i-share yung experiences nila mula doon, and for sharing that experiences, it at some point na-help na ma-normalize yung talking about it and also dealing with it, na mafe-feel ng mga taong nakakaranas din na they can relate to them, they can find comfort to them, na hindi lang sila yung nakaka-feel ng negative feeling na yon, hindi lang sila nag-iisa on that thought. So it's also relating to other people. Yun yung mga ibang ways to deal with mental health issues.
I see. Well, that's a good point, ma'am. And those are actually right. That I think people nowadays needs to be very what do you call this? Para bang kailangan maging aware and be very careful sa mga sinasabi, sa mga comments. I heard one time, I forgot kung sinong health advocate ito, but I also heard this from social media na kapag meron kang kakilala na you think and you know and like openly sinasabi sa'yo that he or she is having some sort of mental distress, if you think na hindi maganda yung sasabihin mo or hindi ko naman talaga ganun makakatulong, sometimes it is better na makinig ka na lang. Because people who's dealing or having a mental health distress, sometimes they don't need someone to, I mean, they don't need advice. Am I right? Sometimes they just need someone to listen para ma-voice out lang yung mga gumugulo sa isip nila. Masabi lang kung ano yung mga bumabagabag sa kanila. And that actually helps. But in terms of giving advices, giving your ideas, on that point, we have to be very careful for my opinion, because sometimes what we tend to happen or people tend to do is they're doing comparison. Ako pinagdaanan ko nung college nga ako, ganito yung ginawa ko eh. Naging okay naman ako. Nung college nga ako, ganyan ang inaano ko, parang kinausap ko na sa gito, okay na ako. So, I don't know, ma'am, if you would agree, but is it right to have like some sort of comparison of what do you call these experiences? And do you think is there's a possible negative effect sa mga ganyong circumstances?
So first, no, I agree na at some point may mga taong talaga na whenever they seek help, hindi naman talaga nila hindi naman necessary na kailangan nila ng advice. Totoo 'yun. Kasi yung iba is ang kailangan lang talaga nila is someone's presence na alam nilang may nakikinig sa kanila or alam nilang napapakinggan sila. Kasi nga it's like a comforting gesture na malaman mong na may nakikinig sa iyo or may concern sa iyo or may taong nagki-care sa iyo. It's like parang ang feeling niya is a warm hug, ganun siya. So, in terms naman sa ano ulit yung last question, sorry.
Yeah, like meron bang what do you call this? Meron ba siyang possible na negative effect kapag nagko-compare tayo sa mga experiences natin?
Okay. So, i-take note natin no, na iba't iba ang experiences ng tao and iba't iba rin yung pag-take nila sa problems or sa stresses nila na yun. At some point, kung sa ibang tao or kung sa iyo, sa sarili mo is ganun mo lang kadali na pakawalan yung negative feelings na yun. Sa ibang tao, hindi siya ganun kadaling i-handle. Kung sa ibang tao, malalim na yung negative feeling na yun, tapos ang tingin mo lang is it's like some sort na mababaw lang na hindi naman kailangan ng matinding pag-iisip or matinding pag-dwell ng emotions dyan. So, it's different attacks, different based on different people din. Kasi nga, iba't iba yung pag-take natin sa problem or sa stress na yun. So, sana iwasan natin na mag-compare ng iba't ibang experience kasi it's like hindi siya nakakatulong and hindi rin siya nakakapagpa-feel na nakakapagpa-feel ng paggaan ng loob. Hindi siya nakakapagpa-feel ng ganun. Instead, parang dinadagdagan pa mo pa ng stress, yung tao na mafe-feel niya na, ay oo nga, bakit si ganito, ganyan na lang kadaling napakawalan yung negative feeling na yun. So, dadagdag pa yun sa negative feeling or sa negative thought na naiisip niya. So, let's try to be there for the person na lang and try to listen more rather than comparing or rather than telling words na hindi naman talaga needed nung person na yun.
Well, ma'am, that is a very good point. And super agree ako doon. Na talagang mas maganda kung talagang hindi mo naman, kung tingin mo wala kang magandang masasabi, huwag mo na sabihin. It's okay lang na makinig or pakinggan mo siya. And especially right now, ma'am, sa college life and also sa what do you call this, sa mga senior high, um, andyan yung ang daming demands, pressure sa school, demands sa mga examinations. Most of the students tend to burn out. So, what do you call this? What do you think like are the signs that we need to what do you call this to watch out na like magiging kinda ring a bell na ay teka, possible na ma-burn out na ako. So ano ba yung dapat kong tingnan or dapat kong bantayan for me to like yung mga ganung bagay, yung mga signs.
Okay, for the signs and symptoms or yung tinatawag nilang red flags in terms of mental health, number one to point or to take note is severe sadness or loss of interest to some activities. So whenever you feel like wala ka ng interest sa mga activities na dating na-enjoy mo, so you have to take note on that. Next is confused thinking or can't think clearly or yung thoughts is nagiging disoriented. Also, significant tiredness and problem sleeping. Kapag minsan may mga araw na wala ka ng energy or wala ka pang ginagawa pero nafe-feel mo na pagod ka na. And also yung kawalan ng tulog, hindi ka makatulog agad or yung insomnia, isang factor din yun. And also, extreme mood changes, yung highs and lows ng pagbabago ng moods. Dito sa signs and symptoms, we have to take note na yung symptoms dapat nakaka-affect siya sa daily activities mo as a person. So dapat halimbawa for a long period of time mo na siyang nararanasan. Halimbawa, it's either 2 weeks or more na or a month na. So you have to take note kung gaano na katagal mong nararanasan yung mga signs and symptoms na yun. So may nakita nga akong tweet na hindi naman last time, siguro mga last month na rin, na sabi dun sa tweet na yun is ang hirap maging mentally healthy sa panahon natin ngayon. So it's also true at some point, totoo naman, kasi ang dami nating stressors sa paligid. Parang lalabas ka lang, papasok ka lang sa school, traffic na, so stressors na agad yun sa umaga. Or hindi mo lang mahanap yung necktie mo sa uniform, nasa-stress ka na agad, Yung mga ganong maliliit na factor, but it adds up to our stress. So, madaming stressors sa paligid and totoo na mahirap maging mentally healthy, but we have to take note on ano yung effective na activities na nakakapag-regulate ng emotions natin.
I see. Well, thank you. That's a very good point, ma'am. And I think na maganda na alam ng bawat isa, lalong-lalo na yung mga students, kung ano yung mga red flag, kung ano yung mga symptoms and also emotions and feelings that they are experiencing for them to identify kung saan na sila papunta. Parang kumbaga sakit na kapag alam mo na meron ka ng sipon o pwedeng lumala pwedeng ganito yung maging meron na kagad tayong early precaution. Meron na kagad tayong So since we're able to identify these like the red flags or like the early symptoms, once we experience these early symptoms, how do we think or how can we address this? Like, hindi pa tayo umaabot dun sa medyo nagiging severe or what? Like, what are the early precaution that we can do for us to, to prevent na mas lumala pa?